And that's a real problem because aside from the damage it causes, which results in things like, people talk about Ozempic face, Ozempic butt. When you start losing the actual muscle in your body, you look like you've been starved because the essence of what happens on these drugs, part of the reason you're losing weight too is because you really are massively reducing your caloric intake. And you're basically taking someone who previously was perhaps consuming more calories than they needed, certainly consuming most likely very bad mix of calories, mostly coming from carbohydrates, and now they're starving themselves. So you have a person who is obese who's now starving themselves into weight loss. Not a healthy situation to be in. And at the tail end of this, especially in older patients, especially if they're, 60-something years old or older, I can tell you from my exercise science and physiology background, aging is directly tied to muscle loss, sarcopenia. When you start losing muscle mass, that's a bad thing. And as you're older, you can't regain that muscle easily. It's gone. Good luck trying to regain that. And it used to be said, well, people believed, even when I was doing my undergrad, there was talk, as you get older, you lose some muscle. It's really believed now that because people tend to maybe abandon exercising, resistance exercises that maintain muscle as you get older and become more of a couch potato, it's the muscle loss itself that triggers a lot of the things we attribute to aging. So in other words, if you have a situation where you're taking a drug that's going to make you lose muscle, you're really not doing yourself a favor as far as having a long, healthy life. You may look better, but you may be winding up sicker. And it's, again, not that these drugs don't have a purpose. It's just that I have found that historically, whenever people are looking for an easy, quick fix and a magical, a silver bullet that's going to magically fix everything without looking at the root causes, they've actually looked at this. No one has got a shortage of GLP-1. It's not like you're replacing something. If you're a type 1 diabetic, you do have inadequate or no insulin. It's totally different. But in this situation, you're giving a drug that has an effect that has a lot of side